is Borapat, but you can call me Ken in short because my name is too long. I am a collector and the owner of the massive toy gallery.
What are your sort of general interests in pop culture? How did you kind of get into pop culture?
I think when I was young, I loved to watch anime, read manga and comic books like everybody else. And I also love to draw. And when I grown up, I kept drawing and read manga. And at some point, I am getting bored with just reading and drawing. So the good thing is I found some collectibles that are getting me into this kind of hobby. Starting with small figures, and then for a while I found like a big statue that I think I saw the first one in my life in Forbidden Planet, if I remember correctly, and that opens my world of collecting. I never thought that it's gonna be big statue like that in the market. I seen only like a small action figure, so it kind of blown away for me. And from that time, I just couldn't stop. And yeah, the movie and everything just keep releasing. And yeah, kind of this is my thing, and I want to live with that.
So what was the first piece you saw?
My first piece is Sideshow Red Skull premium format, the first one in 2008, I believe. Yeah, that was the first one. At that time, it just only like no more than 300 USD, I think, and still expensive for me at that time. So I kind of saved up for a few months, and yeah, got it. That's my starting point. After that, I couldn't stop at all. But lucky me, when I found this hobby, I still live in the US, so I don't have to deal with like shipping fees and import tax like this time. So kind of fun.
Can you tell me about Berserk and how we got to this?
It started with the idea that I wanted to have a place to display them, and at the same time my wife want to own a coffee shop, and we try to make it separated, not in the same place, and it just spend too much if we do it separately. So we kind of, how can we combine it together so it becomes like a cafe and gallery space. I get a lot of stuff and then I couldn't display them, mostly in the box, and then at my house I couldn't store them, so I have to leave it at my brother's house, my parents' house, and they are kind of angry at me. They keep asking me, when will you stop buying? At least make a space that you can display on your own. Do not put it in my house, something like that. So I have to find a way to display them, and at the same time my wife want to open a coffee shop, so I asked her if I could build a gallery place and then combine with the cafe to make it like a cafe and a gallery that you can come in, buy a coffee and take a tour. Of course it's a free gallery. I think it should work well, so I built it. Not build it myself, of course.
And where did you get, like, where would you got inspiration from for this stuff?
I think I got my inspiration from the Korean collector. He owns a big gallery in Korea. And I never been there, but when I saw his gallery, and I think I don't have that much pieces like him, but I think I should build something that fits my collection, and yeah, it becomes like that. Because before I built this place, I tried to make it in the middle of the city, but it just too too hard to make it possible in the city. So I kind of move away from the city to get a bigger space, less expensive. And I think my first priority is to display them properly. Like I don't want to make them together and to pack, and because of what each of them is quite expensive compared to the small action figures, you know. And if you display them individually, like a museum or something like that, it will be much more valuable.
I have an issue where I've been asked 100 times how much I spend, and do I tell my girlfriend how much I spend? Does your wife know how much your collection's worth and how much you spend?
Okay, I will say this because I think my wife won't see this video. No, I won't tell her the real price. Mostly half price. Especially if you didn't pre-order it and you have to follow them later, you're gonna pay much more. So no way I'm gonna tell her the real price.
What's the most you've spent on one statue?
I pay $4.5 grand for one statue. That's the most expensive for me.
That was the fan art kit. What about the cinema kit though?
No, I got a cinema kit at pre-order price. So yes, hot.
And how many pieces do you think you have in this collection?
In my collection, I never really counted. I did count it in like very first year I collected, but at some point I stopped counting it because I think it's somehow forced me to stop if you count it, you know. So I think I just feel it by the way it look. If it look too packed, I'm gonna stop for a while, let go some, and then if I found really interesting pieces, I'm gonna get to fill in the space that are free.
What's your top 5 in your collection?
If we want to talk about my top 5 pieces in my collection, I might not be able to order it like which is the first one, but I can pick the best 5 of my collection. So I think I'm gonna go with Predator cinema kit. Alien cinema kit. And then fan art beast on the days, the custom one, and yes, and the expensive hawk. So that's 4. Another one, let me think about it. And I think my last one from 5 gonna be the latest one I got is Thanos on throne. I like that one because I think it's shown how statue can be at the moment. Because compared to maybe 5 or 6 years ago, in the hand sculpt era period, it changed a lot in terms of how do artists make a piece or the production, something like that. It can be a representative of the statue at this period.
You've already told me what your best pieces are in your collection. You're told by you've got a bill you need to pay to get in a piece you wanted. Which 5 pieces are you going to sell to pay for that?
For the 5 pieces that I want to get rid of, I think the first one should be Alien Warrior life size bust from Cool Props. The first one. I think the quality is so bad and not worth the money you paid for them. and the second one is Alien Newborn from the same company. I do hope that they do a better job in the future. I hope so, because they got interesting license. Do not ruin it, guys. So that's 2, and third one. The third one is Vampire Queen from ARH Studio. Yeah, the same thing, the quality. That's the third one. The fourth one, let me think about it. I'm gonna go with Sideshow, but I'm thinking which one because it has so many pieces I want to get rid of. This is so hard.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Brown Wolverine from Sideshow. I really think they did a bad job. Like the snow, the skin tone, everything, and go together with Sabretooth from Sideshow. They're releasing at the same time. Yeah, that's my worst 5 pieces. I also collect art prints as well. Original idea was showing it next to the statue that I bought, but in the end it's just too hard to put them together. As you can see, the art prints, the nice ones, always big, like 24 by 36. You cannot display them along with the statue, so I end up just put it on the wall, because I think I hate the empty wall. So, and I really don't like the actual poster that you can see on the theater. You can see it everywhere, and then at some point I know Alamo Draft House, the Mondo, they do a different kind of art print poster, and I kind of amazed with them. So I started buy art print, and I'm not buying it anymore. It's just that they are not limited like before, so I'm kind of very picky about what I want to get.
Same statues though.
Yes, right.
And what are your favourite prints?
Print, I like Man of Steel print. Not even limited. It's an open time edition.
Yeah, Geo had one.
Yeah, and I love it most. I don't know why.
Any others?
What?
Any others?
Any others?
Any more?
Besides the Man of Steel one, I think I like the Iron Man 3 or 2, I'm not sure. I think it's 2, the second one, by Tyler Stout. I like his, how can I say? I like his style because it look vintage, like a vintage poster. At the time, I couldn't really afford every work from him. Sold out in a minute, something like that. So I have to wait for the time edition one, or end up get it on eBay much more than the pre-order price. Let me see. Oh, I haven't put it here, but I do have one more poster that I really like. The taxi driver one. It's not a superhero or anything, but it just came from my favorite movie. So I end up getting them, but I haven't put it here because most art prints I get is on the portrait, like this line. But the taxi driver one is gonna be on another angle. So when I try to put it together, it just looks so weird. So I didn't put it up.
If you started collecting in 2008,
Yes.
since 2008, especially the last 3 years, the last 3 years in particular, there's been a huge increase in prices. The prices of premium format, so you don't have, I'm just using Sideshow as an example, their prices have pretty much doubled in the last 3 years. Also, then you have to deal with the shipping costs have increased.
Right.
You know, just like maybe touch on how as a collector who needs to, and also about, for example, Sideshow, where they sell the exclusive parts which you would have to get from Sideshow, and it will cost you probably more than getting it from a distributor. Just touch on how the effect of that on you, if it's made you slow down, or if it hasn't really affected you, because if you want a piece, you'll buy it. It's that to you. Yeah.
If you want to talk about the increasing price in recently years, like I told you before, the first time I saw the Red Skull premium format figure, I think it's no more than 300 USD at the time. But if you look at the normal price at the moment, it's gonna be like 500 or something. A lot of people complaining about how they increase the price, but for my point of view, I think everything, not only the statue, that increasing the price. So I kind of it's okay for me, but at the same time, I think I slow down a bit too, but not because of the price. I think they are just releasing the same character again and again, and I get bored at some point, so I kind of slow down a bit. But because of the not because of the price, I think it makes sense to increase the price, but some company might make it not reasonable. So I think it depends on the collector. If you think it's too high, you don't have to buy it. Is it too harsh to say that?
No, that's your view.
I don't want people to hate me.
No, that's your view. I mean, if you have the disposable income, and it's true, if Prime 1, well, they released the Gaia, that's my dream piece, is the quartz scale Gaia. If they probably said that's $1,500, I would have complained a lot, but because it's my dream piece, I would have paid it.
Yeah, I know. Because on the other hand, I think they cannot keep the factory in China to make the product with that low price forever. At some point, they're gonna increase their labor fees as well. So if they're not increasing the price now, maybe in the future they're gonna do it anyway.
You have a very varied collection. You have things from most companies here, and you have fan art. And it's great to have a kind of mixture of these things. But like, what's your view on fan art? So like, in the recent months, companies have been cracking down and licenses have been cracking down, and there was a case I read, my days have bled into each other. Like, it was either last night or the night before, someone made a bootleg action figure, and they made an edition size of like 50, I think it was, and they were fined $200,000. So I mean, like, so there's like all these things coming about, and to try to crack down on the customs and things like that. Yeah, do you get what I mean? Like, what's your view on the custom world? We maybe mentioned that, you know, in your collection you have Sideshow, Prime 1, you have very much every.
I like fan art piece because they approach another direction different than the licensed one. I'm not saying that fan art is legit or anything like that, but as a collector, I think it's nice to see something different from the typical kind of collectible, like the licensed one keep doing it. The fan art gives you something more variety that the licensed one never approve. But a lot of people complaining about how expensive they are, how many pieces they get made. But for me, we do have a thin line about fan art piece, right? that if you make it more than that line, it should be how can I say it? For me, I do have a thin line that fan art shouldn't cross that line. If you want to make it without the license, you shouldn't do it like a very public CD spread everywhere, post everywhere about your fan art piece. I think that's not nice.
Well, originally fan art used to be 30 pieces, 20 pieces.
Right.
What it would be is I would want a character. I would want that made, and no one else has made it yet. But for me to make that, I need to make 20 or 30 pieces to cover my costs and make it worth my time, and then I get the piece I want and my friends want. It used to be like that, and then it became, I'm going to make 50, I'm going to make another Wolverine, I'm going to make another Magneto, I'm going to make these characters which are already being made, and I'm just going to keep making them.
Yeah. I know.
And now I like to get fan art where so that you look into it and the guy's making like 135 edition size, 15 artist proofs. That's bullshit, because why would you need 15 artist proofs? Artist proofs are like sent through to check what the factory's doing, so you may have, for 135, we're going to have like 3. Right. And it's a way of making them make more money.
From my point of view, I don't really know the intention of every commissioner, but I think for the fan art piece, it should be something that not so many out there. Let's say if you want to make something that's not licensed, you want to do it because you really want that one to happen, right? You can just make it enough to cover the expense or anything like that. But if you look at nowadays, every fan art piece making it like maybe more than 100, looks like it for making a profit, not making the one that you really want. And I think it's just so wrong. If you want to do it that much, buy a license and do it properly. Don't make it that much. I think it's so wrong. I don't know how can I say it. If I want to make something unlicensed, let's say fan art, I think 20 or 30 should be maximum, just for cover everything. Do not make profit of it.
I think when that was the case, companies didn't care. You know, they got that. But also the positive side of fan art is we've seen some amazing artists come from that side. Even painters. There was a case recently where a painter was chosen by Sideshow because of their great painting, and then they were asked to stop painting customers, but that was how they found them. So it was a bit like, yeah, paint our pieces, but stop doing what we found you doing. And then they didn't, so they got fired. But there's also, like, you know, you see sculptors making the fan art pieces.
Yeah, right.
Working for Sideshow. Yeah. I mean, you have a huge collection anyway. You've probably got most of the pieces you want, but are there any pieces that you're hunting, you're trying to find?
The one that I really would love to have it now is TX Cinemarket. I used to own it once, but I let her go, and now I'm kind of wanting her back. But the price is so expensive.
Most of the syndicates are really expensive.
Yeah, right.
If you want to finish up and just say, okay, thank you. Whoever you want to thank, and whatever you want to say as a closing message.
Yeah, sorry for my bad English. If you don't understand me, blame him, not me. And I think it is so nice to be in the community and get to know the other people that have the same interest, and meeting new friends is so nice. That's all. I love this hobby. The idea of this place is for people who love this kind of collectibles to gathering together, meet up, make new friends. So if you have a chance to visit Bangkok, feel free to come to my place, and we can meet up talking about collectibles. But we are closing on Wednesday. Don't forget about that. Last time Alex came to me, he came on Wednesday, so he hates me now. I try to make it to him. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Awesome.
I'm thinking about redoing it by myself, like keep talking since the start.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Why?
I don't know. I feel the one that I talked before kind of shit.
What, everything?
Yeah, I know. It must be hard for you to editing, so I don't care anymore.
What? So you don't like any of it?
I know, it's just I'm not used to the camera.
No,
That's all.
no. I mean, this is 40 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm sure I can make a 2-minute video.
Okay, that sounds good.